This is way overdue. In here is my little propagation box of lots and lots of Hoya cuttings. I think I started this rehabilitation project months ago, probably at the start of this year, and we're now in October. So it's been a long time, and as I said, well overdue. And I'm now going to pot these into their own pot. So as we go through this, we'll see what's happened, which plants have been successful, which ones haven't been, and see if this style of propagation works for your Hoyas. What is up, guys? My name is Lithius and welcome to Roots Ready. Rewind a couple of months ago where we were coming out of winter, and I think these plants, for whatever reason, just didn't really like it. A lot of them really struggled through the year. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to chop these up to see if I can actually save these plants. So with my shears, I went in and I chopped up a lot of plants, predominantly my Hoya CV Jennifer, which makes up the majority of plants in here. That plant just started to go downhill. It started to yellow for no reason at all. So I think that one I chopped it back completely, and I think I threw away the mother plant. And yeah, I can see that it's doing okay. We have a couple of other plants in here as well, but as we go through, we'll just take a look to see what actually worked and what didn't. So yes, so looking at this pot, the plants look okay, especially from the bottom. You can see that we have lots of roots down there. What I am noticing though is that in here, because it's such a high humid environment, you can see here where it's very wet, very damp. I'm not sure what that is. It's not damp. I think it's like a mold, kind of like a sludge, like a slime kind of thing. So I was originally just gonna take the plants out of this, use the same soil that's in here, which is, I think it's mostly cocoa coir and some leca just for some aeration and maybe some pon as well. But clearly this was way too dense. So I think there's a bit of anaerobic stuff happening in here, hence the slime mold across the bottom. So unfortunately I won't be able to use this. Well, I probably could, but I'm not going to risk it. I'm not going to risk using what looks like not very good quality soil. So I'm going to take these out and I'm going to repot them into some fresh soil. The soil I'm going to use is going to be mainly cocoa coir, a lot of leca and pon, and I might throw in some tree fern fiber for good measure. That's just because I don't have any other substrate on me. I've got a little bit of sphagnum moss left. I don't think sphagnum moss is the best substrate for Hoya. So without any further ado, let's go straight into this. I think the first thing we want to do is just to gently unpot all of these cuttings. So I'm just going to give all of them a little. Well, first, I think the best thing to do is to give the whole pot a bit of a squeeze. And I'm also going to use this chopstick as well, because trying to give the pot a squeeze just didn't seem to make much budge. So we're just going to use the chopstick. There we go. Some of them are coming out. Oh, wow. Look at the roots on that bad boy. That is looking really, really good. The pots that I was planning to use, I don't think that's going to fit. These are very small pots, so there's about 3 in there, so that's one pot. I think that root system is going to be way too big, but we've got some other pots, so let's get them out first, see what they look like. There we go. That looks really good. I'm going to try to clean off some of the roots, some of the soil as well. I didn't see any pests in this soil either. I did see some springtails. No, I did put some sand in here as well. I can see some sand in the substrate as well. So it might not be all bad. We'll see. Oh no, I lost one of those roots. And another. Right, so this is my Hoya Fuorensis. This plant wasn't struggling at all. I just wanted to grow some out because I've never really propagated my Fuorensis, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to do that. So there are a couple of cuttings of those in here as well. This one didn't grow. You can see this one here has a new leaf, which is the first one that I took out. So you can tell that one grew, but the Fuorensis looks like nothing came out of it. Not sure what plant this was, but it perished. It didn't make it, which is unfortunate. Oh yeah. Oh, we got some good roots on this one. If I can get it all out. Oh yeah, look at that. That is lovely. That is really, really lovely. Look at that. Nice. Another new growth point on this one. So again, it looks like the CV Jennifer really enjoyed its time in here. So that's 2 for 2 on the Hoya CV Jennifer that has new growth on it. So that's a really good sign. Now we've got one other Fuowensis in here. Got to be really careful with the roots. I think they've all sort of clumped together. Okay, we'll come back to this one. Oh no, is it loosening? Oh wow, this is a really long root. Oh my goodness. Doesn't want to seem to come off. Anyway, we'll take this one with it. Wow. So that CV Jennifer and this Fuowensis seems to be connected somewhere. Oh, there we go. So there you go. That's the other Fuowensis. So another small leaf, a very long root, which is nice to see. And I think this one actually has some growth on it. You can see here that's actually a peduncle. So although we didn't have any new leaves come out on this one, we do have a peduncle, which is quite funny because I find that Hoyas take a little while to produce peduncles. Actually, a lot of mine don't have peduncles, but can throw out leaves for days. Another CV Jennifer, look at that, 2 lovely new leaves on there as well. So that's really nice. So let's keep going. Let's see what plant we'll take out next. Look at that. Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one. Let's clean up these leaves. Okay, take off some of this soil. Look at that. Lovely, big, juicy root system. Look at that. So, if I'm not mistaken, this one has 1, 2, 3 new leaves growing. 3 new leaves growing on this one. So this is definitely the one leading the way. And I think this one might be the last one in here. Let's have a look. Is it? Oh no, we've got another one. We've got another Fuowensis hiding back here. So let's see if we can separate these. Well, this one has 3 new leaves on it also. This is another CV Jennifer. You can see that. Again, lots of soil on the top there on the leaves. So we'll just clean that off a little bit. Look at the roots. This is insane. That's really nice. But the only thing about this one is that this leaf, this top leaf over here, is looking really rather strange. Very pale. It's like there's almost no chlorophyll on this one. So it's very, very, very light. So I'm not sure what happened here. And then finally, we have this Fuowensis. Really good rooting. Very, very well. Look at all of those roots. That looks really, really good. And I can see the start of a peduncle over here. So it's very, very small, but again, no leaves. So I think it's safe to say that that was quite successful. I think that was quite successful. So looking at the soil, let's see what I did. I can't remember what I did yesterday. So I completely forgot what I've put into this soil mix. But I think I'm looking at it. I've definitely got lots of sand in here. I've got cocoa coir in here also. And I've got some leca and some pon and stuff like that. So I think it's quite a good little mix, if I do say so myself. And clearly it worked for the plant. It was quite dense, but maybe not as dense as I thought it was. So this looks to be okay. So I might be able to use some of this soil still. It's just what was around the edge, which is quite it has quite a lot of that slime mold on it. So we'll reuse it. And I'm not going to worry too much about the springtails because they're not harmful to your plants. They can actually be quite beneficial as well, because they do eat a lot of the mold that grows in the soil. So maybe this could have been a lot worse had it not been for the springtails, but I know some of us rather not have them at all. So I think let's make a move with this. So we've got these two plants. I'm going to look at what can actually fit in these small pots. I don't want to put anything big in here that's not going to do well. Maybe this one as well. So the 2 Fowensis, this one smaller Jennifer, CV Jennifer, and maybe this one as well. This one is quite small. So yeah, and then I'll get some other pots for these ones. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 on here. All right, so this is going to be quite simple to do. So we're just going to get the plant. Look at that, that's got so many roots on it. Is it even going to fit in here? Oh my goodness, it might not. You know what, this one I don't think will fit in here, but this one should. So we're just gonna carefully put the roots in here, being very careful not to damage them. Okay, there we go. Now that's in. Now we can backfill our pot like so with some of that soil that the plant was growing in for the better part of a year. Can you believe it? This thing has been here for almost a year. Where does the time go, guys? Where does it go? We're gonna put this in here. Okay, that's looking good. Nice. Okay, so that's the first one done. A Hoya Fowensis ready to go. We can put this one in also. And again, we want to backfill. I love this little scooper. It's nice and small, and this makes these kind of more fiddly jobs so much easier. And you wouldn't believe where I got this from. I think this came from like a little multi-pack, a little chocolate multi-pack thing. And I thought, you know what, this is perfect. I'm going to take this. I can't quite remember what chocolate it was. I think it was like a Christmas thing. I can't remember. But it works really, really well. Got some loose roots in here, so I'm going to take out what I can. This is the second one done. A Hoya CV Jennifer, a nice small baby one. This is the one that I said I was going to try to pot up separately, but if I put it in here without a base layer of soil, maybe with a little bit of soil actually. Let's see how we get on. Managed to get it to fit in here. Just had to sort of get the stem in the right location. Look at that. There we go. That's another one. And I don't know if this one's gonna fit. Should do. A little bit of soil. Put the roots in. Again, being careful not to damage them. Backfill some more. And just the final bit, chuck it on there, and then use your fingers to get the soil where it needs to be. That's the other one. Now that I know that I've been able to get some of the plants with bigger root systems in here, I wonder if I can get some of these other plants. These were a lot bigger, as you can see. Oh, look, there's another one that I forgot about. There we go. Let's take this out. This is the other Fowensis. So let's put it in. Let's pot this bad boy up. Look at that. I'm so impressed with all of these Hoya and how well they've done, how lovely they've rooted up. So I will take my time with these, continue to care for them, make sure that they're growing. As you can see, all of them are rooted. It's how well do they go from here? Especially now that I'm going to acclimate them to a slightly lower humid environment. This is like 100% humidity in here all of the time. So now they're going to have to get used to maybe 70% or 60 or something like that, 50%. So we'll see how we get on with those. All right, so this one, you know what? There's a potential that this one might be able to fit in one of these smaller pots. Potentially, if we were to see how we get on. No, that's not gonna do it, is it? That's not gonna fit. No, it's not gonna happen, is it? So we got these three, so we need to find some slightly bigger pots for these three, just because they are a lot more heavily rooted than the others. Okay, I found 3 pots, square ones as well, which is really good because when you have square pots, it just helps you to store your plants a bit better. When you have round pots, you have a lot of empty space, but with square pots, you can get them really close together and save a lot of space. So that's a quick recommendation for you guys. So let's carry on where we left off. Let's get some of these bigger plants potted up into these larger pots. I'm not sure what size these pots are, to be honest with you. And but I think they will be absolutely perfect for this. So same as before, being careful not to damage the roots. Nestle the plant in the pot, center it as best as you can, and then backfill with your substrate. Now, interestingly, all of these plants were previously in pon or in a semi-hydro mix. I think they were all in sort of a lechuza pon actually, specifically. All maybe apart from the Full Wednesdays, and I still have that. That one's still doing really, really well. No concerns from me on that one, but definitely the CV Jennifer, for whatever reason, just started to not like that setup anymore. So I had to do that executive call and just take the plant out. Well, in fact, I did a lot more than that. I completely chopped the plant up, as you can see, into nodes, separated each sort of node cutting where there was a leaf, and did my best to propagate that. To be fair, I say I did my best. I didn't really do much. If I'm being honest with you, I chopped the plant up and I stuck it in this pot with some good soil, gave it a water. I probably watered this thing maybe 2 or 3 times, maybe 3 times, maybe 3 or 4 actually, in total. And that was it. I haven't done anything else. Maybe, you know, when I watered, if I had any fertilizer in my canister, then the plant would get something. But other than that, I didn't do anything special, and I don't think I actually needed to water this thing. I could have just left it as it was and it would have probably been just fine. It didn't need that much humidity at all actually. And yeah, you can see it's worked a charm, an absolute treat for these plants. What are we looking at? A 90% success rate, maybe more, 99% if only one plant died. I'll have to do the maths. This one's, the shape's a bit more difficult to manage. So there we go. I think that's it. There we go. Nice and centered. Lovely. I don't know if I've saved the best for last, because this one this one looks a little bit harder, because I've got some roots growing up high as well. Definitely want to get these in the pot. You know, as many roots as we can get growing, the better chance of growing a really healthy plant is. So you're really increasing your odds there. Okay, that looks good to me. Okay, and backfill. Nice. Okay, nearly there. I think one more scoop and we've done it. that's it. That's the last one. Isn't that something? There we go. The last of the Hoya in my propagation box has been repotted. I think there's still hope for this soil, for the soil mix. I've still got some soil in here. I'll be ashamed to let it go to waste. So after this video, I'm just going to look around the house and see what else might be in need of a repot. So we'll see how we get on. I don't think there's anything else, but yeah, this is it. These are my Hoyas, which were well overdue that repot. So yes, we have the Hoya CV Jennifer and the Hoya Fuowensis, both really cool plants. And I can't wait to get these to grow up really, really nicely. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, keep planting.